Hey everybody. Okay, we're on module 4 as we know, and this is lesson 3 because we did lesson 1 in class. So here we go with lesson 3. The aim is how do we interpret a fraction as division. Again, we've been doing this for a while, knowing that the fraction line is the same thing as division. So if we had a fraction of 5/8, we know it means 5 divided by 8. So we're going to look at a couple of fractions and talk about the word problems and write them as algorithms and draw them as pictures. So this is going to go kind of quickly. The most involved part will be looking at the pictures, which are relatively simple, but you just need to kind of figure out what I did and I'll explain it. So here's our first problem. A baker poured 4 kilograms of oats equally into 3 bags. What is the weight of each bag of oats? So he has 4 kilograms of oats equally into 3 bags. So our algorithm is 4 divided by 3, as you see here, which then becomes the fraction 4/3. And you can't have an improper fraction, so you turn it into a mixed number of 1 and 1/3. And we all know how to do that. So this is where we are right now. Okay, so I don't think there's anything confusing about that. Okay, so we're going to keep going. Now, here's the picture. Okay, so we have 4 total, right? We have 4 kilograms of oats in total, but he's breaking them into 3 bags. So that's what my circles represent. So I can't take the 4 and divide them equally by 3. So I have to take my last bag of oats and cut it into thirds. So that seems fairly simple, right? Because I have 4 and I want to divide it by 3. So now I take a whole for each one, and then I split up my thirds, and I put a third in each of my bags. So does that make sense? So then my answer is 1 1/3 each. 1 1/3 in each bag. You can also break that down if you break each whole into thirds, and you end up with 4/3 in each bag. Okay, so the yellow pieces are thirds. So here's 1/3 and 1 whole right here. 1 whole, 1/3. These are 4/3, and there are 3 of them. So 4/3. Okay, does that make sense to everybody? And now we're going to do the actual math part of this. So we have 4/3, which would look like 4 divided by 3, right? Because if you read a fraction down, it's 4 divided by 3. Okay, so what is 4 divided by 3? Well, it's 1. 1 times 3 is 3. Subtract, you get 1. I can't do anything else. There's no other number here. So this time you take the remainder of 1 and turn it into a fraction with the divisor as the denominator. Okay, so then they want us to check it. And here's a new way to check. I hate writing with the mouse. I really do. Okay, so here's how you check. So you normally check the quotient by the divisor, right? So we have 3 times 1 1/3, right? Everybody sees where I got that from. 3 times 1 1/3. Well, that's the same thing as saying 1 1/3 plus 1 1/3 plus 1 1/3, right? Because multiplication is the same thing as repeated addition. Okay, so we add the whole numbers and we get 3, right? 1, 2, 3, plus the thirds. How many thirds do we have? 1, 2, 3, so that would be 3 thirds. 3 thirds is equal to 1, so 3 plus 3 thirds is 4. So, yes, we are correct because we are smart. All right, the next one is the same baker. Okay, he's going to double the number of kilograms of oats to be poured equally into 3 bags. What is the weight of each bag of oats now? Okay, so the algorithm, instead of a 4 here, we have an 8. So it's 8 divided by 3, which is the same as this fraction, 8 divided by 3. Can't have an improper fraction, so you turn it into a mixed number, which is 2 and 2 thirds. So if I looked at this and I said 8 divided by 3, but the 3 is actually thirds, it would be 23, 24 thirds divided by 3, which equals 2 and 2 thirds. Now let's look at the beautiful picture. Okay, so here we have 8. We're still putting it into 3 bags, but we just doubled everything, right? So instead of this being a 4, it's now an 8. Hey, okay. So let's just see what's going on here. So we have, I don't like when the pen disappears either. That just makes me mad. Okay, so we have 6 holes and 2 holes that we need to cut into thirds in order to make this work. Okay, so we have our 3 bags. Each bag gets 2 holes, which is 6. And now we need to take these last holes, which are thirds, and divide them equally among 3. Okay, so we get 1 third and 1 third, 1 third and 1 third, 1 third and 1 third. That takes care of both of these holes that were converted into thirds. Now we want to go a step further and take the holes and turn those into thirds plus the other third. So the whole is 1, 2, 3 thirds plus that one. 1, 2, 3 thirds plus that one. Okay, so do you guys see that? So it's 8 thirds. Okay, so in each bag, basically, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 thirds because the yellow ones are thirds, right? So we have 8 thirds, or when we change it to an improper fraction, 2 and 2 thirds. So you can see how 8 became 2 and 2 thirds, or you could break it smaller and get 8 thirds. All of this means the exact same thing. Okay, so let's do the math work. So now we have 8, whoa, divided by 3. Okay, so 8 divided by 3 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. Subtract, and I have 2. Can I divide 2 by 3? No. So this is the remainder. 2, and the denominator is 3. I didn't say denumerator, okay, just to make that clear. So here's the check. Okay, so again, we're multiplying the divisor times the quotient. Right, we have that. And multiplication is the same as repeated addition. So it would be 2 and 2 thirds plus 2 and 2 thirds plus 2 and 2 thirds. Okay, you got that? So it's just repeated addition is the same thing as multiplication. So now I'm going to add my whole numbers, 2, 4, 6, and I'm going to add the numerator and keep the same denominator. So 2, 4, 6, right? Everybody got that? So 6/3 really equals what? That equals the whole number 2, correct? Because if I divide 6 divided by 3, my answer is 2. So in the end, I have 8. So this is the same as that. So that's how you check your division with fractions. Okay, you could use repeated addition to check it. And now you're going to do problem set 1B and 1D, which are just straight out, it's on the chart actually. So you're doing the division expression, improper fraction, mixed number, and the standard algorithm. And actually they all have like bits and pieces for you. You know what? I'm changing this. Hold on a second. You can do C as well because this is not anything that's really time consuming or very difficult because they fill in most of it for you. You just have to fill in the missing parts. Okay, so you're going to do the whole front of that page. You are not worrying about the unit forms. That should be crossed out on your problem set. If it's not, cross out the problem that says unit form. But we should have done that already. Okay, so you're getting the division expression. Every letter has the division expression except for C. Then you're doing the improper fraction, the mixed number, and the standard algorithm with the check. Let me say that again, with the check. And then you're doing basically the first word problem, which has 2 parts, A and B. Okay? You shouldn't have too much trouble with this. It's stuff that we've been talking about all year. We know that the division is the same thing as the fraction line between the numerator and the denominator. Okay, have fun. See you tomorrow.